Once you have your table created, you probably want to make some changes to it. So we're going to look at a few things. For example, if you wanted to select an entire row, if you move your cursor to the left of the table, your cursor turns into a northeast pointing open arrow. If you left click, that selects an entire row. You can also left click and hold and drag, and you will be able to select more than one row at a time. You can select an entire column by moving your cursor over the top border of the column until the cursor turns into a solid black arrow pointing directly down. You can left click to select that, or left and click and hold and drag to select more than one column. To select a single cell, move your cursor to the left border of the cell until your cursor turns into a solid black arrow pointing to the northeast, and that allows you to select just a cell, or click and hold and drag and select more than one cell at a time. Once you've got your cells selected, you may want to change some things in there. So for example, if I look at my titles here for the columns, the titles are sitting up in the top left-hand corner. So I want these to be centered. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the 4 cells, and in the Table Tools ribbon, I have a Design tab and a Layout tab. If I click on the Layout tab, I have an alignment group, and I want to align my titles both horizontally and vertically. So I'm going to click on Align Center there. So that centers my titles nicely. For my row titles, I'm going to select those, and rather than centering them both horizontally and vertically, I just want to center them vertically, I guess it is. So I'm going to choose Align Center Left, and that centers it vertically. Now, one thing that you may see is that the rows are different widths here. It's very easy to make the rows all the same height, I guess, not width. Rather than clicking and dragging and sort of trying to eyeball things, it's easiest to select the rows that you want to have the same width, and in the Layout tab there is a Distribute Rows tool. Click on that, and that will make the rows exactly the same height. I can do the same thing with the columns by selecting the columns and choosing the Distribute Columns tool, and that makes everything the same width. Now you may have a situation here where you want your table to fill the width of the page, so from the left margin all the way over to the right margin. I can do that by selecting the entire table, and I can select the table by clicking on the little 4 arrow sign in the top left hand corner. That selects the entire table. I can go to Layout, and in Autofit I can choose Autofit Window. And the last thing I'm going to do is, let's see, I want to change the alignment of the numbers so that they are right aligned. And I'm going to bold my totals row. And I'm going to use my keyboard shortcut, Control B to bold. And there I have a much nicer looking table there.